So I've been fascinated with the story of, or the parable of the prodigal son for many years. And so I wrote a cycle of stories from the prodigal son's point of view outward towards all of the family members. So I'm going to read two of those tonight. The first one's about the father. On my father's desk. I paw through a huge stack of books, find some gum, take a piece, push aside, in search of greatness. 7 ways to be a more effective everything. Effective speaking. Think fast. Manifest your dreams. Dream your wishes. Wish yourself to a better life. Guide to investing. Guide to speaking. Guide to playing. Guide to dreaming. Character. Health of the colon. And lawn tennis. But still, I don't find me. I am looking for myself on my father's desk. I see the round stones covered with words. One day at a time. Whatever it takes. Win, win, win. Rough granite markers like little tombstones engraved with sayings. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. I feel great. Clear shapes of glass and plastic that sound like church. Nothing is impossible. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. Never, never quit. As usual, I find everything but me. I thought I saw myself next to the pamphlet called The World's Most Powerful Money Manual and Course, sandwiched under How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, and directly on top of Enrich Your Life. But it was just a shadow of my hand, an old note I'd written him about how much I loved him when I was 7. So I looked some more. In between the course on the power of language, join the 5% who have it, and the tapes on maximizing your potential and personal power, the driving force. I catch an ant and kill it, of course, though I know all the stories about ants my father has told me. I kill it just because he has told me those stories, and I'm thinking about ant heaven and wondering, is that just piles and piles of shit, or do they finally get the front end of food, unchewed, undigested? Anyway, I kill this stupid thing. Ant, go to your reward, bon voyage. And then I push aside a book on the greatest personal development tips ever, models for living. And another called Balm for the Soul, wise sayings from many lands. And another on how to change people and make them love it. And a thick one on making people say yes fast. And then I see the bottom of the desk, the scarred old wood, oak-like iron, weary-looking wood, indented and marked by all the accounting, all the scratching away my father does on it. And I find some money, and this is the other thing I've been hoping for. Maybe some change, maybe a stray bill, nothing very large. Just enough for candy, some smokes of my own maybe, or a dirty magazine. So I'm scrambling around, I figure whatever I find under all the crap, you probably won't remember was there anyway. He'd want me to have it. I only do this when he's out, way out, in a remote corner of our property, though. I don't want him to catch me. If he caught me, it would be bad in a way you can't imagine. Oh, he might have hit me, though that would be better. I could fight back against that, but no, he'd probably just talk, and talk, and talk, and talk. Oh, God loves you, he'd say. He loves you so much that even killing that ant and moving my important papers around, even smashing the rock that says winning with teamwork, even stealing my money or spitting in my face, God still loves you, and on and on and on and on until I would be weak from wanting to do something but not have the energy left to speak a single word. And then he'd finish off with something like, keep your head and your heart in the right direction and you'll never have to worry about your feet. And he'd put his hands on my head or make me bow my head under his bowed head, and he'd pray over me until he was satisfied and I was healed and that God was present in my poor boy's soul. And I'd go to my room without even having to be told, paralyzed from all that fucking love. My father's favorite things to say when he's not praying. Colder than a witch's tit! I'm gonna ream him a new asshole. Son of a bitchin' bastard. Can't tell his ass from a hole in the wall. What my brother does for fun. He's never used almonds or filberts or hazelnuts, though that would make more sense to me in terms of aerodynamics, but that's not what he does. He juggles peanuts, mostly. The dominant flow runner variety, although he occasionally uses the giant-sized Virginias or red-papered Spanish and Valencias. Flow runner, king of consistent size and shape, generally used for peanut butter. A little blonde canoe of a peanut. He throws these nuts up into the space around his head, the roasted and salted oblongs pushing through the molecules of air in flying circles from hand to hand or with just one hand. With a quick flick of his wrist and a deft catch and return flip, the nuts are sent soaring up into the airspace of bars, stores, street corners, and stadiums. It hypnotizes people. I used to watch him for hours, launching the nuts from his meaty hands, following their straining flight all the way up, feeling their ungainly brown shapes pushing against the slipstream of air and gravity, witnessing their grateful fall back to the relative safety of his broad palms and clever fingers. The salted ones are a bit trickier. They have even more drag. The salt catches the air and slows them down. It took him years to juggle those. But salted or plain roasted, each peanut must fight the buffeting air to climb to the top of its desired arc. He can do 4 or 5 at a time, and once when he was manifestly out of his mind, I saw him juggle 8. 8 dainty dugout halves going round and round in a wide circle, his hands a blur. People threw money and bought him drinks. I often feel sorry for the Nets, handled this way, forced to do things they were never meant to. But he always reminds me that if I just use my little slow brain, I'd see it's a brutal life for a Net anyway. Always facing some horrible grinding death with the boiling act of digestion at the end no matter what. So they fly, he says, sounding just like my father, that big, hollow, booming voice, pointing like a finger at my stupid young head. It's a nobler fate than being eaten without any glory at all.